Hey there, Detroit sports fanatics, and welcome to another edition of my Detroit Sports Show, right here on blogtalkradio.com, live from the northern outskirts of McBain, Michigan, with yours truly, your host, Taylor Phillips. This is the Red Wings edition, and if you have opinions or want to join in on the conversation, you can call in by phone at 646-478-4837. That number again is 646-478-4837. This show will be 15 to 30 minutes long, as always. And then after the show is all said and done, it'll be archived so you can all listen to it again because it is recorded. Again, the guest phone number is 646-478-4837. You can still post your opinions and comments on my talk show post on my timeline, on my personal Facebook profile, Taylor Phillips, at facebook.com/Phil1DT. Become a fan of my Detroit sports page, Taylor Phillips' Detroit sports page, at facebook.com/Taylor sports page, and join Taylor Phillips' Detroit sports group. And you can follow me on Twitter at DT2Phillips, same name on Tumblr, DT2Phillips. You can also search me on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Google at Taylor Phillips. And of course, Blog Talk Radio, Taylor Phillips, all in one word, though. I am simulcasting on YouTube via Google. There's also a chat window on blogtalkradio.com for you to comment your opinions. I'm also on Pinterest and StumbleUpon at Taylor Phillips. Don't forget. Before we begin, here are the guidelines for all the listeners of tonight's show. Number one, if you have called in, stay on the line so I can get to you for a talk. If you hang up by mistake, not a big deal. Just redial this number, 646-478-4837, and then stay on the line. Number two, keep it very clean. Number three, treat each other with respect. Number four, if you don't know much about Detroit sports, you can still just listen to my show for education and entertainment. And number five, only I can change the topic because I'm the host of the show. All right, let's get to it. As happy as I am right now about tonight, let's recap the entire week. The Wings were back on Sunday. The Wings were still in a slump, and they lost to the Lightning, getting shut out 3-0 at the Joe. On Sunday, the Lightning are 3-0 against the Wings thus far this season. Peter Mrazek made 23 saves on 25 shots on goal. But again, Ben Bishop just seems to outplay any Red Wings goaltender, stopping all 28 shots there, picking up another win. It was all him. It was pretty much all him. It's been pretty much all hit Ben Bishop this entire season series between the Red Wings and the Lightning. The Wings used all the energy maybe almost all of the energy they could, but they didn't even get one past Bishop. Uh, 28 shots, well, it's still a bit of a low amount of shots on goal, although it's a little better than 25. I mean, in fact, it's a tad better than 25. Still got to get more there. let's move on from there. The Red Wings moved on to Tuesday's game at home against the Ducks of Anaheim. Tomas Jurko scored his first NHL goal there to make it 1-0 Wings, but then it was all downhill from there. Just 25 seconds thereafter, Jacob Silfverberg with a wrister tied it at 1, just like that. The defense not paying attention there, and it came back to bite them as Bonino, Perry, Vatanen, and Koivu, Saku Koivu that is, put a snowman of 5 goals on Gustafsson and Peter Mrazek. Dan Cleary sugarcoating that ugly game with a goal of his own at 18:02 into the third. The Ducks went on to win that one by a mile, 5-2. From there, the Ducks had that was the 6th win in a row for Anaheim. The Wings, I think, just lacked energy. They were a little tired, but they weren't too tired. That's just lack of effort right there, overall. But that didn't mean the Wings had to quit trying. They kept trying. They moved on to Thursday's game, and they were playing the struggling Calgary Flames at the Joe. And the Wings scored first again early in the first. Daniel Alfredsson on a one-timer past Kerry Ramo. To make it 1-0 Wings. Pavel Datsyuk and Nicholas Kronwall with the assists. Michael Backlund ties it up with less than 5 minutes. Ties it up less than 5 minutes later at 5:11 into the game with a wrister. Michael Camilleri, the former Michigan Wolverine, and T.J. Brody with the assists. Let's go to the second period. Daniel Alfredsson let a one-time shot go from the blue line. Joachim Anderson tipped it in at 11:38 to make it 2-1 Detroit. Pavel Datsyuk also got an assist along with Alfredsson. But then the Wings got into some minor penalty trouble. Yeah, and I mean minor penalty trouble. In that second period, Tomas Jurko at 13:28 got nailed for tripping against taking out Mark Giordano, their captain. And then Brendan Smith, as clumsy as he is committing penalties, got nailed for tripping while breaking up T.J. Brody's play at 13:46. Just 18 seconds thereafter. 18 seconds after Jurko's penalty, and then make that 35 seconds later, Jonathan Ericsson almost got a 4-minute double minor penalty for high sticking. Luckily, it was 2 minutes. No blood there. He high sticked Curtis Glencross. They killed the first 2 penalties, but they didn't kill the third. Smith came out of the box a little too late, and Giordano wristed one past the monster, Jonas Gustafsson, to tie it at 2 at 15:53 in the third. Curtis Glencross and Michael Camilleri got the assists. Camilleri would finish with 2 assists from there. Hint, hint. Third period, no scoring. Wings had a couple chances late in that third period, but we go into overtime, and the Wings didn't even waste any time. Pavel Datsyuk, thanks to Kronwall's gutsy attempt to hold the puck in, got it back to Pavel Datsyuk in the far boards near the left end corner. Datsyuk was trying to find somebody, and Alfredsson came wide open. Datsyuk got it to him. Alfredsson one-timed it past Kerry Ramo and into the net for his second goal of the game and the game winner, with Todd Bertuzzi almost screening Ramo. That was just a laser one-timer, one-time slap shot by Alfredsson. Just the energy boost the Wings needed. They won in overtime at 1:03 into that extra frame, 3-2 over the Calgary Flames. That ended the overtime drought. From there, they realized they needed to win to get their first shootout win of the season. Daniel Alfredsson finished with 2 goals and an assist. I think the Wings were finally given one by the Calgary Flames, but they didn't mean they had to hesitate to take it. They took it. They kept on trying, and they made a play. All you got to do in the NHL is make plays, just like in football and in basketball. Let's move on from there. The Wings were in Toronto tonight. And that made a Winter Classic preview, I might say. This is the Red Wings edition. So let's start off with the first period. Cody Franson scored for the Leafs unassisted with a snapshot at 7:15 to make it 1-0 Leafs. But just a minute and 42 seconds apart from that, Pavel Datsyuk tied it on a backhander with Riley Sheahan getting his first point in the NHL, which is an assist, and Danny DeKeyser, who returned to the lineup, also got an assist. That's his 8th of the year. 1-1 we were. Then about 4 minutes later, 13-18 into the game, Joakim Andersson with a wraparound try. beating James Reimer. Blocker side, I think, unless he's a lefty. That made it 2-1. Daniel Alfredson and Brendan Smith picked up the assists, and then Tomas Jurko with a spinorama shot, 5-hole, backhanding one between the wickets of James Reimer. That made it 3-1. Riley Sheehan got another assist. Jordan Tutu also picking up his first assist of the season. That was, in fact, that was his first. I think that was his first point of the season, unless he got a goal or two. I could take a look at the team stats real quick. Let's see. Jordan Tutu. No, he doesn't have any goals. That was his first point of the season. What do you know about that? Whoop-de-doo, Jordan Tutu. Angle down there. Again, this is the Red Wings edition. I'm Taylor Phillips. This is Taylor's Detroit Sports Show. I have a Red Wing uniform on, as you can see on YouTube. Let me show it to you again this way. It's more polite. So again, that was Tutu's first point of the season, which is an assist. But then in the second period, things got a little dicey. Dion Phaneuf left wide open, slapped one home against past Jonas Gustafsson. 3-2 Wings at 11:45 into the second. Joffrey Lupul picked up an assist, and then Lupul got a goal at 18 with a minute and 36 left in the second. And it was on the power play. He was left wide open, got a rebound, top shelved it over Gustafsson's right shoulder. It was a wrist shot too. Took a lot of skill from that close to the goaltender, the Red Wing goaltender. That tied it at 3. Phil Kessel and James Van Riemsdyk with the assist there. And the Maple Leafs carried the momentum on from there into the third period at 8:32. There was a scramble, a big scramble that in front of the net. It lasted for like 5 to 10 seconds. And the referee didn't even blow the whistle, and David Clarkson took advantage on a snapshot, putting one home to make it 4-3 Leafs. That was their second lead of the game. Jay McClement and Nikolai Kulemin, or Kulemin, or however you pronounce that, got the assists. But then the Wings would find a break. Tomas Tatar, 13:44, got a rebound off of a shot from the blue line by Tomas Jurko. Put one into a hole into the back of the net, and we were tied at 4 with just 6 minutes and 16 seconds left in regulation, Nicholas Cronwall would also get an assist. We went to overtime after each team would ice the puck once. In the very last minute or two. And in overtime of regulation, and then in overtime there was the overtime was pretty tiring. So tiring it even wore some of the Leafs players out. And there was no scoring in the overtime period. That got us to a shootout. Toronto shot first. James Van Riemsdyk shot first and missed the net. He didn't even deke. And you're not, and like I said, you're not going to get a goal if you don't deke. And that, no matter what team you're on, no matter who you are, whether you're a veteran or a youngster or a rookie or whatever, or in between. Then it was Daniel Alfredsson's turn for the Red Wings, and Alfredsson just waited there for like about a minute or two before the ref blew the whistle. For Alfredsson to pick up that biscuit and slide it down ice towards Jonathan Bernier, who came in to start the second period, and Alfredsson just sniped a wrister, a fast one too, past Jonathan Bernier for the first shootout goal. And then Mason Raymond took his turn. He went wide near the near boards and came in on Gustafsson, but Gustafsson made a diving attempt to check the puck, and he got a stick on it. And that showed you that successful poke checking attempt showed why the Wings were so desperate to get a shootout win. They haven't coming into tonight. They hadn't won any shootouts this season, and in 12 tries, their last 11 attempts before tonight, they haven't won any other of those shootouts. So Gustafsson kept the Leafs off the board from there in the shootout, and that was all. And then the game was on Pavel Datsuk's stick. And Datsuk came in, and guess what he did? He finally deked, and he scored. Top shelf. Didn't do anything too fancy. He just deked and backhanded one home past Jonathan Bernier, and that was it. The Red Wings beat the Maple Leafs in a shootout, 5-4, 2-0 the shootout result. And that proves right there that all you have to do is deke. Doesn't matter how. And Datsuk deked and he scored. And you can see the difference that makes. If you're any hockey player in any level of the sport, chances are 9 out of 10 you'll score if you deke. That's just that simple. So the Wings get 4 straight points in their last 2 games, with an overtime victory over the Flames at home Thursday and a win tonight in a shootout in Toronto against the Leafs. So the Wings possibly are off the schneide. They won, so that's 2 straight overtime victories altogether, including 1 shootout victory, their first in 12 tries and of the season. So let's jump to the injury report. De Kaiser already returned to the lineup tonight. Henrik Zetterberg, their captain, should return on December 28th, which is a week from tonight. And then Jimmy Howard is now expected, I'm getting word, to return early at a period of time earlier than on New Year's Day, when the Wings and Leafs rematch in the Winter Classic at the Big House. So let's about 3 minutes left in the show. No callers yet. Just two upcoming games, including Monday at home against the Islanders at 7:30 on Fox Sports Detroit Plus, and Saturday in Florida against the Panthers at 7 on Fox Sports Detroit, which is a week from today. Henrik Zetterberg should have to help his team pick up a victory against the Panthers. Zetterberg, please help us solve Tim Thomas. That's all we ask. We need you, Captain. Now let's take a look at the standings real quick before I sign off. 2 minutes left in the show. The Islanders are in 15th place in the Eastern Conference, and in last place in the Metropolitan Division with 27 at 10, 20, and 7, which is their record.
90 seconds.
For the wild card, I'll forget about that. The Panthers, I'll get to the wild card later. They've been struggling too. They got 33 points, 14, 18, and 5. 14th place, just 1 place ahead of those Islanders, and in the Atlantic Division, second to last place, just ahead of the Buffalo Sabres, who have 21 points. No need to look at the wild card standings there. So that's it. That's about all the time and ground we have to cover for tonight's Red Wings edition of Taylor's Detroit Sports Show. I hope you all enjoyed it. Go Wings! 2 straight victories, baby. Coming up tomorrow night at 11 is the Pistons edition. They've lost their last 2 games, both at the Palace. Just 2 horrible games. Other scores: Michigan State beat Texas 92-78. Michigan just held on to beat Stanford 68-65. Until tomorrow night, this is Taylor Phillips saying so long. TTFN, ta-ta for now.